Well, first off, we have not seen an Obama health care plan. Now, there's two proposals in the Senate that are having hearings right now, and the House Democrats have unveiled their bill, or their draft of a bill, but it's not really a bill yet. Um, we don't really know which of these three proposals the majority has out there, two on the Senate side and one on the House side, the president is actually going to support. We don't know whether they'll pick and choose from the three various plans, but suffice to say, we don't know where President Obama is right now because last fall, when he was a candidate for the president, we heard repeatedly that he wanted a mandate on children, but no mandate on adults, no mandate on business, and ultimately he wanted the insurance similar to the federal employee health benefits plan for people who were uninsured. What we're seeing today is everyone's forgotten about the mandate for kids. Everyone's forgotten that there was not going to be a mandate on adults and businesses because those are actively being pursued on the in the Democratic on the majority on the committees on the House side. And then ultimately, the coverage for the uninsured doesn't appear to look like a federal employee health benefits plan, which would score obviously very, very high as far as cost. It looks like something along the lines of a slimmed down Medicaid. And even at that, Senator Kennedy's bill has now been scored at over $1 trillion of expense and only capturing 1/3 of the uninsured. So I'm not sure that's going to pass any test that the American people are going to administer to that proposal. But right now, let's suffice it to say there are a lot of moving parts. The president is going to weigh in on television tonight, so perhaps we'll get a little clearer picture of just exactly what it is he wants. You know, what's disappointing to me is that they really haven't encouraged our side to participate. The president said down at the White House last March that, hey, I just want to find out what works, and I want to use what works. There are good examples out there in the real world of things that are working in a cost-effective way and delivering more care to more people at less cost. Who wouldn't be for that? And at the same time, we're not allowed to consider those and even go so far as to saying some of the things like health savings accounts and health reimbursement accounts may not even be qualified coverage under some of the Democratic plans, so that a person would have to pay a fine in order to keep their insurance. It kind of makes a mockery out of the slogan, if you like what you have, you can keep it, right up until the time we tell you you can't, or you're going to have to pay a fine if you want to do that. Well, I think that distills it down to perhaps too simple a level, but I sympathize with people who look at Congress this year and look at what the White House has already done. We took over your bank. We took over your car manufacturer. We closed your car dealer, and now we want in your doctor's office. I can sympathize with people who take that rather simplified approach to it. It certainly seems that way just under the surface. No. There have been a couple of things where they've looked at bills that I've already introduced and say we might incorporate your language into the bill, but it has been a virtual desert out there as far as anyone coming by and saying let's talk about what you want. Some activity right at the start. Many of the surrogates that last year I was a surrogate for McCain on the presidential campaign. Many of the surrogates that I encountered along the way now have positions in the administration. So yes, I have talked to some of those individuals, but as far as, hey, let's work out some of the differences between the two sides, not much interest in doing that right now. And honestly, they have the numbers where they don't need to include Republicans. A, 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 an issue this large, however, really, bipartisanship is not just a slogan. If you want it to endure, if you want it to really deliver on the promise for the American people, you do need to include both sides. Now, maybe that's not me. Maybe there are other Republicans that they feel are easier to work with that they could include. But if you don't include both sides at some level, ultimately you've got a flawed product.